Another day, another update for Vanguard. Today, we're breaking down some changes that compound on top of what we saw yesterday because we got a little bit of a hotfix, not a title update, nothing you actually had to download for Vanguard, but instead, as with a simple playlist update, it would boot you out of the main menu, just restart your game, and then those changes were applied. So we're going to talk about those changes that were made today, and a little bit also on the Warzone side of things, prepping for what's to come next week. So that said, as we go along, let me know your thoughts down below. How you guys feeling about these updates over the last 24 to 36 hours? Are you liking what we've seen change so far? Are you hoping that we see more come as well? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts down below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like down below. Let's aim for 2,000 likes on this. You guys absolutely crushed yesterday's video. Bet we can do it again. So if you enjoy it, drop a like. And if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all things Vanguard, whether that be updates and information like this, create a class guides, camo guides, tips and tricks. We got you covered with any of that. So if you guys would like to join us on that road to 500,000 subscribers with nearly 70% of viewers not subscribed, if you'd like to join the community, I'd love to have you. And finally, my friends over at G Fuel bumped up code Espresso to 30% off your entire order. So if you guys want to try something out for the first time, get a restock, whatever the case may be, links in the description below. That said, let's jump into the update and what changed. So as mentioned, this update itself wasn't anything that is going to require you to download anything for your platform of choice. Instead, it's just going to boot you out to the main menu as a simple playlist update would, restarting that game, and then you can jump right back into all of the action with these changes then applied. Now, if you take a look at the in-game patch notes again, this isn't something that's delivered to Sledgehammer's blog, Call of Duty's blog, or anything like that. Instead, it's in-house right there for everybody to see in-game for them to check out. If you take a look at it, it replaces the November 10th patch notes, so there are going to be things that do double up here, things that are amended, added on top of, and things that we already talked about with this. So we're not going to go into the zombies or the campaign things since nothing was added to those, and those were already covered in yesterday's update video. However, we see that these start out with the newer items, in which one of the big ones is they fixed the spawn trap in the cave on Numa Numa while playing Domination, Team Deathmatch, or Kill Confirmed. That to me is an absolutely great change. I don't know if you guys have played Numa Numa. If you've played solo, you've probably gone up against other parties that know what they're doing and how to spawn trap. Basically, if you can contain the enemy team to just that B flag, you can then control the spawns to the point where they only spawn in the cave, to which there's 3 points of entry out, and they're very tight choke points, meaning that there's almost no way, unless an entire team pushes and takes out that 1 or 2 players holding that angle, that you're going to get out of there. So it's an absurd spawn trap. That should be something that now spawns you out with the right pressure applied, so it shouldn't be as detrimental to your gameplay experience. I'm all for that. They mentioned they fixed spawning close to enemies on the map of Desert Siege. We're likely going to be seeing more changes like this coming in the next coming days to weeks in regards to other maps as well, but Desert Siege and Numa Numa were named in particular with this update. It fixed some things for Champion Hill where players spawn into a buy round with fists and no secondary weapon. It fixed reticle challenges that we're not tracking properly past the first challenge, so hopefully that's actually fixed out. It was mentioned in yesterday's update as well, but then still persisted to have some issues with it, so hopefully that is fixed out here with this. We saw that the Secrets of the Pacific getting 3 wins challenge, tracking losses as wins during FFA, that should be fixed out as well. It fixed the broken clan XP bar after level 1. A big one is that it fixed an issue that caused your FOV to lock to that default of 80, something that will just happen in mid-game. Previously, again, it was something that you had to back out of the game. If it still persisted, you had to close your app and restart your entire application, and then it would get rid of it. But that should no longer be an issue anymore, which is phenomenal. I'm wondering then if this allows us to see the kill cams and everything like that also in our chosen FOV instead of it being that default 80. We'll have to wait and see how that works out. It fixed crashes on the MVP voting screen, fixed FFA losses recording as wins for operator challenges, and also adjusted the combat shield again. In yesterday's patch notes, we talked about this, but it is something that while being stowed on the back, it also, in some instances, allowed for the front of the player to end up being protected as well. This is something that if you use shotguns or something like that on DOS House, you might notice this. I have a couple of clips where, if I can find them, they'll be in the video here, where I'm unloading an entire 7-round mag of the Gracie Full Auto into somebody point blank, and it's just not registering because of that shield on their back. Talk about a redemption arc. I mean, you could shoot through it 2 days ago on your back, but now it protects your back and your front. So that's something that's likely going to be adjusted even further, but perhaps the biggest change out of today's update was the change of point blank range kills to close range kills, meaning that you no longer now have to barrel stuff somebody to end up getting those point blank kills. And for things like snipers, that is an absurdly big change. It's mentioned in the patch notes that it's only for snipers, but that doesn't seem to be the case. It seems like even when you go into things like your SMGs, you're going to see those close range kills. When you go into your rifles, you're going to see those close range kills. When you go into even your shotguns, things that are built out for point blank range, it still says get 100 close range kills for those berserker challenges. So that should hopefully make the camo grind a little bit easier, though unfortunately a lot of things are still bugged. My main primary one that I'm going back to is that automaton with the Mind Games challenge, where it requires you to get 100 ADS kills with the sniper barrel, Empress broadsword stock, and still unfortunately the assassin proficiency, which, as we've talked about a couple of times already on the channel, that proficiency does not exist, so you cannot progress those challenges. So it seems like Sledgehammer is chipping away off those challenges and those issues concerning weapon camo tracking, but just not quite there 100% just yet. Though a good start, I definitely think that for snipers, for people using rifles, those point blank kills were absolute agony, so to see those change to at least close range is nice. But those were the changes made here in terms of Vanguard. Again, I'm very much so expecting a lot of things to still come over the next couple of days. I'm still expecting a bunch of weapon tuning at some point, perhaps with the next title update, though that actually might not be until next week at this point, because if you guys remember, we're getting actually pretty close to something coming up in Vanguard of a new map, or returning map, I should say. Scheduled for release of the 17th, so next Wednesday, we should be seeing Shipment return here within Vanguard. So that means another crazy high action map that, just like DOS House, will be great for camo grinding, so you can get all that out there, but that isn't currently in the game files, meaning that that's going to have to be forcibly applied by adding in another build of the game, a title update. So that's something that, with a ton of weapon tuning likely on deck and probably some big fixes coming for various aspects of the game, that might be my best guess as to when we see the next sort of big update for Vanguard. Until then, we'll just see some smaller stuff, some hot fixes here and there, but just keep that in the back of your mind that we may still have some stuff coming as of next Wednesday, but hopefully beforehand. Then jumping over to the Warzone side of things, because we have not talked about Warzone in quite a bit, and there are some things to get ready for. This week on the playlist updates, we end up having our standards of solos, duos, trios, and quads, with Kingslayer trios and Plunder quads in play, with Rebirth Mini Royale trios and Resurgence quads being in the mix as well. But the reason why I bring up Warzone really again, outside of just the playlist update, is because, again, as with next week, with Vanguard getting some stuff, in 1 week's time, we start the sort of countdown for the final days of Verdansk. Season 1 is right around the corner, starting on December 2nd, so that means we'll end up getting Caldera, that brand new Warzone experience, the integration and everything coming in just a little bit of time. And so starting on the 18th, we end up having Operation Flashback kick off. So that's going to be something that sort of memorializes the last year and a half of what we've seen within Verdansk and Warzone, both in the present day sort of Modern Warfare version and also the Verdansk 84 version. Operation Flashback will be that limited time mode featuring, as they say, plenty of surprises, the cover of Verdansk's action-packed history, with 2 unique rewards up for grabs, an emblem for participating in the event, and an animated calling card for those who claim a victory. That's actually been leaked out. It's a cool looking calling card. I can't put it up on screen for you guys to check out, but you may have seen it around there. But that's coming as of next week as well. So not only do we have a lot of grinding to do in Vanguard, but we got some cool stuff to look out for within Warzone as well. So that said, that's the weekly update that we saw for Warzone, and also today's changes for Vanguard. So that's where we're gonna wrap it up. I'd love to get your thoughts and feedback down there in the comment section down below. Do you like some of these changes made? Maybe not so much. Whatever the case, drop your thoughts below. But if you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all things Vanguard, all things Warzone. We got you covered here on the channel. If you also would like to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, those are the best places to chat with me outside of YouTube. So if you guys would like to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever the case may be, links in the description below. That said, thanks so much for watching. Mine is Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.